Hey guys, I'm Brian. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to take a closer look at Clean by Pan the Organizer Ceramic Spray Sealant. 16 ounces, and this can be used as a topper, which I'm going to use today. This is coated. I'll use it as a topper before I send it out into Mother Nature. And it can be used as a standalone product, can be used as a topper. There are different ways to apply the product, and I want to see what working with the product is like. Is it a pain to get it on there, spread it out, and remove, or is it a pleasure to work with? I'm told it does have a pleasant fragrance to it. I'll have to take the word on that. And can be used on all surfaces on the exterior of your car or truck, including paint, plastic, headlights, taillights, any type of trim at all, polished aluminum or chrome, your black piano finishes, wheels as well, any hard surface. So let's take a closer look at the ceramic spray sealant by Pan the Organizer and his Clean line. So this here is the shop's loaner car, and we have a coating on there just in case there are still some customers out there that are not familiar with ceramics and how they can change the characteristics of your vehicle and make it a little easier to clean, easier to maintain. So we do have this coated, and when a customer shows up, if it's raining, we can take them outside, we can show them the gloss, the slickness, and the hydrophobics, all that jazz. You guys know about ceramics. This here is a topper that we're going to use for the 3-year coating. This here is 16 ounces for $23.99. The Clean Ceramic Spray Sealant is a robust, high-performing spray-on protectant engineered and tested by Pan the Organizer, designed for professionals and also enthusiasts alike, enhancing gloss, repels water, shields against UV rays. Guys, I can tell you these products don't do a lot to shield against UVA, UVB rays. They may help, but ever so slightly. Protects for up to 12 months. 6 to 12 months is where this product would fall into. Key features: advanced ceramic polymer technology, creates a scratch-resistant barrier. These products do not do much resisting scratches. The slickness helps a little bit, but it's very minute what it does to prevent scratches on paint, even after the car has been coated. So, you know, some of these buzzwords you do have to take with a grain of salt, but the product will bond to paint, glass, and plastic. 6 to 12 months of durability. Chemical resistance, this one here boasts between 1 and 14, which is very extreme and high, and I would highly doubt that, but we'll put it through the tests. Also, get it on a panel, which is no test or no match for what Mother Nature can do, but it can tell us a little bit, and we can manipulate it and beat it up and torture it a little bit. Has a micro emulsion water-based technology, enhances gloss and slickness while giving you a streak-free finish. It's fast curing. This one here boasts that in 10 minutes you can send the car, wet or dry. There are different ways to apply it. The wet, spray on, rinse off, or dry method, and is safe for all surfaces, and PFAS-free formula. The loaner here does have spray on PPF, sprayable PPF in the bumper and some other parts. The rest is coated. And again, it's another item we can use to show customers when they come what some of these protectants can do to change the characteristics of the vehicle. Help to guard against rock chips and have the car easier to clean and maintain with a coating. So it's been coated. We now want to add the topper, and we're going to use the Clean by Pan towels as well. This is level 1, and we'll just simply spray on the surface, 2 to 3 for a hood this size. We'll spread it out. Excuse me, I'm going to cross over and get to this side here. And then just flip the towel over. And it seems to be wiping off. It goes on and wipes off really easy. So I'm sharing my experience with you today. That's all I can do. The product, how it performs, it's going to vary from region to region depending on where you live. So what I ask from you is, if you have this, how is it performing in your area? That's going to be different than how it can perform in my area, and I can keep you up to date with this, as this is going to stick around and be the loaner vehicle for the shop. And in my area, we do get the extremes: extreme winter weather, extreme summer weather, so heat, cold, snow, dry, baking sun, and everything in between. And we can see from time to time, check up on this and see how the coating in the topper performs. On this, we're going to use it as a topper. We are also going to get this on a test panel, let it cure properly, and then torture. Just like old times on the channel. So yeah, that is very easy and a pleasure to work with so far. Let me show you first-person view of the process. 1, 2, 3 for a hood this size is perfectly fine. And then just lightly spread it out. Flip it over. And it really wipes off easy. It's some of the toppers out there get a little streaky, can fight you a little bit, get a little tacky wiping it off, get a little smeary. Some of them smear. I do find that the ones that fight you, a lot of those that fight you are pretty tenacious and hang around for quite some time. And I've also found, this isn't all of them, but most of them that are easy to use don't last incredibly long, but we'll find out. Looks incredible. The gloss on this vehicle now, which this vehicle is approaching 10 years and has over 100,000 on it, looks good. So let's see if it stays that way, and let's now jump over to a test panel, apply it to that, and torture it a bit. First things first, with any surface that you want to apply the product to, washed, clayed, decontaminated, at least polished with a cleaner polish by hand. That's what I would recommend. This panel gets used often for testing, so we'll apply it to this area right here, and we'll get a clean slate by polishing. By the way, these bar jack polishers, I've reviewed 3 or 4 of them, holding up well so far. They get abused, they get used hard on a daily basis, and they're still comfortable, quiet, and holding up well. We'll follow up with a panel prep. At this point here, I could show you that there's no protection on the panel. just sheets. So let me dry this off, and then we'll apply the ceramic spray sealant right in this middle section right here. All right, a couple ways to apply this. First, after wash, nice fresh wash, and while the surface is still wet, you can mist it onto the surface and then rinse. So it will be a spray and rinse type of protectant. And we can see how it's already starting to react and act to repelling water. Another thing you can do, then, by the way, you would towel dry it from here, so I am going to do that. So after the spray and rinse, you would towel dry. Let's move on to the second way of applying the product, and that is the surface is still wet after a fresh wash. You can mist it on and then towel dry it from there. I can really, for some reason, I can feel the slickness doing it this way more than I felt doing it with the dry application on the coated car. I can't explain it, but I can share the experience with you. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of high spots this way. Nice and silky smooth. Okay, so it looks good. And there are some spray and rinse products, or spray and dry down with your drying towel, that leave high spots and smearing, and there are none on here. And the panel looks great. I mean, this panel's not on the car for a reason, and I mean, the crisp gloss is very impressive. All right, so there is a third way to apply it, and that's what I showed you at the opening of the video. That's the dry application, so let's do that on this dark color as well. And then the third way, very easy. Mist it, spread it out, flip the towel over, and buff to perfection. Very easy to do, it doesn't fight you. And this, if you think about it, would be the third layer. And with a stack that thick, a lot of the protectants tend to smear and look a little cloudy. This does not. Very easy to work with. That's something I can share with you. This is easy to work with. You'll get around the car very, very quickly. Okay, I have a lot to do, so we're going to give this plenty of time to cure, more time than is mentioned on the site and the label, and then we'll come back, get some measurements, take a look at slickness. We'll torture it a little bit. It does boast that it can protect up and down the pH scale, and we'll put that through the test as well, so we'll be back in a little while. All right, we're back. The panel actually has had almost a week to cure. I've had a lot to do, didn't have time to get back to it. But if you remember, in this middle section here, we have applied the clean ceramic sealant. Now we're going to take a look at it as it's been cured, with plenty of time. Take a look at gloss, slickness, what type of water behavior does it have? Does it bead? Does it sheet? We'll torture it with some chemicals. It does boast that it can protect up and down the pH scale, and I do have chemicals up and down the pH scale. Now that will not take the place of what Mother Nature can throw at your car during all of the seasons throughout the year, but it will give us a little bit of an indication as to what this sealant can put up with. Let's get started. As for slickness, I did feel some improvement while applying the product, wiping it off, and then dusting down this panel that's been sitting for some time with just a microfiber towel. Is it the slickest thing I've ever felt? No, it's not the slickest ceramic sealant out there, but it does make a bit of improvement. And hopefully this will give you a visual on that. I'm going to tilt the panel. I have 3 blocks, 2 blocks on the outside of the area that's been protected, 1 block in the middle sitting right on top of the sealant. Let's see if any of these blocks fly off first by tilting. Tilting the panel, I've already had blocks that would have slid off by now in the middle protected area, but this does take off before the unprotected areas. So yes, there is a slight increase with slickness. All right, let's take a look at gloss, shall we? Now it did make the panel look nice and glossy. You could see the reflections bouncing off of it. We're going to stay away from the deeper scratches. This hood is not on the vehicle for a reason. Come over here in the unprotected area first. Yeah, we're starting off with 92, 92. Let's get over here into the protected area. 93, 93. So it's consistent, and it does bump up the gloss. Now, it may not be an incredible amount that it bumps up, because it takes 4 to 5 gloss unit jumps for your visible eye to pick up a noticeable difference on a vehicle, on a panel, but in fact it does increase gloss, but ever so slightly. Next up, we can take a look at water behavior. Does this bead? Does it sheet? How's the beading? For those that find that important, I do have chemicals up and down the pH scale, as mentioned earlier, from acidic to alkaline and in between. And we did measure gloss. We're not going to worry about the paint depth gauge, because a paint sealant and even 5 and 8 year ceramic coatings can barely be measurable with an instrument such as this. That's how thin the layer is. So we're not going to bother with that. Let's just jump to water behavior next. And I also have, following that, a bucket with CarPro Reset up. We'll do the 10 wash test. We'll make sure that this sealant can, at the very least to start with, put up with multiple washes. All right, so obviously this is a beater. It does not sheet water, so you will have to be cognizant of water spots if you do not get the car dried properly. This is the smaller beads from misting, and the larger ones when you flood the panel. If that's important to you, unprotected, protected, unprotected, so it is easy to see how or what it would look like when it protects your vehicle or a panel. So when the panel is wet, you want a way to dry it so you don't have water spots. Drying towels are a great option, but there is a small chance of marring now and again if something like a piece of grit or something lands on the vehicle between the wash process and you drying it. So forced air is always the best, and this is what that would look like on the protected panel with clean. So very quick, very easy with something just as simple as a leaf blower. If you have something more sophisticated, you'll be around the car even quicker. Next up, 10 wash test. We have a bucket all set up with CarPro Reset, and we'll do a 10 wash test just to make sure that the sealant holds up to simple car washes. Then, if it does, we'll move on to some chemicals that are a bit more potent. Now this is what I like right here. This is after the second wash with reset. I love the quick sheeting action. And look how much less water beading and a smaller percentage of water spots you would have. Still see the protection on there. We're going to continue on. Keep washing, see if it holds up. Sheeting very fast, that's what I prefer. And that's compared to the unprotected areas here. That's wash number 3. All right, so after wash number 4, I actually I was actually expecting a whole lot more from the sealant. It's still sheeting, not as fast. The beading is pretty much non-existent, so we did not get to throw and torture the sealant with some of the more harsh chemicals. You can obviously see there is a little bit of protection in the middle compared to either side is not doing anything. This is sheeting, and this will eventually end up as a small stream in the panel, which again, it's what I prefer. I'm not sure if that is what was intended with the product. If so, mention down below. It's really neat how that is streaming together. And that will continue to get smaller. You can see how it's creeping in. So cool. Already right there, we're down to just a small stream. And that will eventually end up the same way. And honestly, you're just going to have a little bit of moisture running down here that you can dab with a towel. Again, not sure if that's what was intended, but after the fourth wash here on this panel, in my shop, that's what it looks like. All right, that's going to do it for this video. Clean ceramic spray sealant from Pan the Organizer. A pleasure to work with. Results a little disappointing to me, but that's in my area on my test panel. You saw the prep for it. We did wash the panel. We even polished it. It had a week to cure. I'm not sure if you guys have a different result using the product. Again, this test here in a shop will never take the place of what Mother Nature throws at your car. It's a little bit different, but this gives us information as to the chemicals up and down the pH scale that come in contact with the sealant. And in this case, it was just Car Pro Reset. So you could see what's in Car Pro Reset and how it broke down the sealant after a few washes. So the product wouldn't be for me. Let me know down in the comments section if you had a different experience and how it's holding up for you, because different areas and different application methods and varying ways to use the product will give you different results. That being said, I would also like to address some of the videos that trash some of these products, and some of these do come from the THOR website, about how they're made, who makes them, and who reviews them. I also think that's bullshit because a lot of the videos are coming from small channels that just can't get their channel to grow, and there's a little bit of frustration out of that, so it seems like they take it out on some of the more successful owners of products and channels. So take that with a grain of salt as well. So what you would really want to do is get information from a bunch of different sources. You can weed out the bull crap and come up with the final decision whether you feel like you're comfortable ordering a product or a tool from a company or not. Again, Brian from Apex Auction Car Reconditioning. It's always a pleasure spending some time with you, even if it's a couple minutes during the week as I get less and less time to shoot these videos. It's funny. In retirement, you would think you have more time to do things you enjoy. I think I'm a bit more busier than I was before retirement in other things and other passions that I have and other projects. So if you think you're going to have more time in retirement, let me pass this on to you. You won't. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next video.